Welcome back. It's been a while since I last made one of these videos. Welcome back. The cup is almost upon us, and we are back for a brand new episode of Devil's Den. I'm so glad to be back. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and we have a new little space so I can actually move around. I'm not, stuck behind a desk or anything like that. I can show my hands. I can back up. I can move forward. I can do all sorts of stuff. So, this is our new permanent setup from now until the end of the next season of New Jersey Devils hockey. And baby, we are in the off-season. So, let's talk about the off-season. Let's talk about, there's three big things I want to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about the playoffs so far. It's been great. Florida, Vegas, Stanley Cup final. Game 5 is on tonight. Vegas is up 3-1. We could see a new cup winner tonight. So let's get into this. Number 2 I wanted to talk about is New Jersey's postseason. Off-season. Where they're at, where they should be, and where I want them to be. Okay, so as a lot of people, and I know a lot of Devils fans have been talking about recently, has been the Devils' roster come next season with all of the UFAs that we have, all of the RFAs, those who don't know, UFA being unrestricted free agent, RFA being restricted free agent, restricted free agency just meaning that we own the rights to those players, but they're technically not signed with the team. UFA meaning they're unrestricted free agents, meaning that anyone in the league can pick them up. However, Devils are obviously going to get first crack at them because, they've basically been with us for the year. So, let's talk. I'm out of breath. It's been a minute since I made these videos. So, let's talk about Vegas versus Florida. So, maybe I'm the only one, but I genuinely didn't think that this series was going to be so one-sided going into Game 5. 3-1. Florida has taken out the best team in NHL history, if you're just looking at points from the Boston Bruins in the first round. Then they take out the Leafs, which, people kind of saw coming, but that doesn't matter. Then they took out the Carolina Hurricanes in 4 games, swept them, took out the brooms, and swept them out of the, gone, right? This is the team which beat us in 5, and then they get swept in 4. Not that I'm not happy to see that. However, Florida has not looked like the Florida from Series 1 to Series 2 to Series 3. Now to Series 4, okay? They look like a bunch of undisciplined children, okay? They really do. Bob has, to be clear, Bob, I don't care what his save percentage, I don't care that he got chased out of the net in game 2 or 3. He has played so well for Florida, right? It's just that Vegas, has been dismantling goalies since series number 1, since the first round of the playoffs, okay? Just dismantle. I don't think that Vegas has faced a goalie in the playoffs this year that has had a save percentage above, 880. They've all been bad because Vegas has done so well, has done the research, has played so well, and has taken advantage of the weaknesses in each of the teams' defense and their goaltending and all sorts of stuff. So that's that. So Vegas is up 3-1. Game 5 is tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm hoping to have this video out right before that game drops. So if you're watching it, great. I'll probably have it on in the background and so on and so forth. So let's talk about New Jersey. Finally, let's talk about New Jersey. The people that we are fans of. The people you watch me to scream and yell at for 82 games in a season. So the New Jersey Devils in the offseason are, I'm not going to lie, they look a little rough. Okay? And here's why. As of right now, this is the list of New Jersey's forwards that are actually signed with the team. So, you have Jack Hughes, you have Nico Hischier, you have Andre Palat, you have Curtis Lazar, you have Dawson Mercer, and that's it. That's all you have that are officially signed with the team. That is 5 guys. You guys know how many forwards are supposed to be on a team, right? There's supposed to be at least 12. You have 5! Now, I'm not crazy worried because there's a shit ton of butt ton of players that are RFAs that we're probably going to be bringing back, so I'm not all that worried. But still, 5 guys for forwards, 5 guys. Not 5 guys, burger and fries, although that is delicious. But, yeah, 5 guys signed as forwards right now. You need 12. You need 12 plus, like, an additional 3 to, like, ward off injuries, right? They can kind of fill in. If one guy's having a bad game, you pull him out of the line, you put some kid in, like we did with, Alexander Holtz or the like, okay? Our defensive players are in a much better situation. Our defensive players are as such who are officially assigned with the team as of right now. You have Dougie Hamilton, great. You have John Marino, great. You have Brendan Smith, who is still on contract for, I think, another year or 2. You have Luke Hughes, which, kid's going to be a superstar. Kid's going to be great moving forward. Wasn't so happy about him playing the playoffs, but that's neither here nor there. You can watch my other previous playoff videos to get my feelings on Luke Hughes. Anyways, kid's going to be a superstar. We know he's going to be a superstar. He is officially on the team. So, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 defense signed. You need at least minimum 6. Plus 2 or 3 extras. Again, see my comments on forwards to fill in, pitch in, someone gets injured, you toss another person in, and we're all good. Right? Now, here is New Jersey's restricted free agent list. So our RFAs are as such: Nathan Bastian, Jesper Boakfist, Jesper Bratt, Michael McLeod, Timo Meier, Igor Sharangovich. That's 6 guys. Now, who do I think is getting brought back? Well, for one, Timo Meier coming back. There's no 2 ways about it. New Jersey is already in contract talks with Timo Meier to bring him back for next season. Jesper Bratt is getting re-signed. I don't care. No. He's coming. No, I don't. He's coming back. Okay? Everyone keeps talking about, oh, we're not going to be able to afford him. It's going to be fine. It's all going to be okay. Meier's going to get like 8.5, maybe 9. I prefer 8.5. Bratt's going to get 8.5 if you know what's worth him, if you know what he's worth. Maybe 8, depending on how low he wants to go to stay with the team. Because between Mercer coming off his rookie contract, between Jack Hughes coming off his rookie contract, between Nico Hischier, between Timo Meier, between Dougie Hamilton, if you want to stay with a team that you think is going to win, you take the lower salary. Take a page from the Toronto Maple Leafs' book. The Toronto Maple Leafs have found themselves in a salary cap nightmare. However, there are players who want to stay with this group of guys, so they have taken pay cuts. Mark Giordano was taking basically league minimum to stay with the team. Jason Spezza, before he retired, was taking league minimum to stay with the team. Okay? That is loyalty. That is loyalty you can't buy. And I think that the Devils, and Brad, if he knows what's good for him, should take a little bit less in order to stay with a Stanley Cup contending team. Okay? This was year 1 of greatness. Year 1, and that was second round. This team is going to have such a bright future moving forward that if the players know it's good for them, they'll take a little bit less money to stay with the team. Anyways, that's the forwards. The only defenseman that we have on restricted free agency is Kevin Ball. I would like to see him re-signed. It wouldn't surprise me if the guys upstairs let him go. However, I can see him re-signing. I can see them letting him go. I would like him re-signed because I think he showed his worth in the playoffs. He was a big body. He can set up plays. He does his job. I like it. So, that is the deal on forwards and defense. On goaltending, you've got Mackenzie Blackwood, that is a restricted free agent. He's being traded. He's being sent away to God knows where. He's not coming back with the team. I think his days as a New Jersey Devil are over. Caps off to him. He did his best for New Jersey in the struggling years, but I think it's time to sort of move on. So, now that brings us to unrestricted free agents. Players who can sign with any team they so damn want to, so long as they obviously give an offer. So, UFAs are, sorry, I'm dying. I'm sweating right now. Jesus. Unrestricted free agents are Eric Holla, are Tomas Tatar, are Miles Wood, Ryan Graves, and Jonathan Bernier. I think it's pretty safe to say that Jonathan Bernier is not coming back to this team. Like, the guy is injured. He's not. We picked him up just in case, but now we have guys like Vanacek. We have guys like Schmid. You've got Dawes, although he's undergoing surgery right now. You've got Dawes coming up. You don't need Bernier. You can kind of toss him to the side. I don't know how much he has left in the league, but we'll see. Eric Holla needs to be re-signed as a Devil. The guy played with so much heart. In the playoffs, he was a monster. Tail end of the season, he was I didn't even say tail end. Second half of the season, the guy was a monster. He played so well. Eric Holla needs to be brought back. Tomas Tatar needs to be brought back. I know a lot of people have been saying, we don't need him. The guy was a plus 40 and was playing on the first line with guys like Nico Hischier, Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Dawson Mercer. The guy's familiar, and he's a plus 40. Okay? This was a guy which plays just as well on the defensive side of the puck as he does on the offensive side of the puck. Keep the guy. You want to know how we got plus 80 something or whatever it was in the regular season with goal differential? Right? We had 80 goals more scored than we allowed in because we did such a good job signing good defensemen as well as bringing in guys who, while playing offense, knew how to play smart on the defensive end of the ice. Okay? Tomas Tatar is one of those guys. Bring him back. Okay? Miles Wood, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Playoff video. My exact words were, Miles Wood, get rid of him. Trade him. He's a liability. I don't want him on the team. He has served his purpose. Goodbye. Adios. Which brings us to Ryan Graves. Now, Ryan Graves is a defenseman who did not do all that well in the playoffs. However, in the regular season, he was among the top 5 or top 10 defensemen in the league with some of the best plus-minus numbers in the league. Okay, up there with Dougie Hamilton. Better than Hamilton. Up there with Siegenthaler. Okay? Ryan Graves has his issues. And if he ends up shitting the bed this year or costs us another playoffs, then fine. We can come back and we can have another discussion on Ryan Graves. In the meantime, give this man his money. This man should be getting at least 4.5 to 5.5 a year. Okay? I'm sorry. He is worth the money. You guys have had him for what? 2 years and people are ready to throw him to the wolves? No. Bring the guy back. I think he's all good to go. Now, let's talk about what the lines look like. Okay? If you're just looking at guys who are officially signed, you have one left winger, which was Andre Palat. You have 4 centers, which are Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, Dawson Mercer, and Curtis Lazar, okay, as centers. And you have 0, count them, 0 right wingers. Obviously, there are guys on this team which can play left and right wing, which is fine. Meyer is a right winger. Mercer can play right wing. It's not a big deal, but you need to... Sorry, Mercer, my mistake. Mercer's a center. I just said his name as center. I'm losing it. Defensemen, you have Dougie Hamilton, John Marino, Jonas Siegenthaler, Brendan Smith, and Luke Hughes. It's 5 guys, right? You sign one in the offseason, not a big deal. But my God, you have no right wingers. You got no left wingers. You got one left winger. You got Andre Palat. You got 4 centers. Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes are going to do all the work, I guess, this year. Goalies, You got Vitek Vanacek, and you've got Akira Schmid as a backup. I don't think that Akira Schmid should play backup. I think we should do what we did with Mackenzie Blackwood and Vitek Vanacek this year, which was give them a 1A, 1B, and if they still want to if they're insistent upon bringing back Blackwood, you make him the backup and you barely play him, right? You give like 30 games to, not even 30, you give like 35 games to Vanacek, you give 35 games to like Schmid, and then you give like 10 games to Mackenzie Blackwood where we're playing like Arizona or some garbage like that, okay? Now, I have made a list of things that I wanted to talk about. Here's my list, okay? I had all these talking points that I wanted to bring up during the video. So, we're going to go through this really quickly. So, guys I think are going to be re-signed. Jesper Bratt, Timo Meier, Igor Sharangovich, Kevin Ball, Eric Holla, Ryan Graves, Tomas Tatar, and Nathan Bastian. Okay? I'm going to go over my reasons as to why. Jesper Bratt comes back because he's great. He's a great player. You bring him back. Timo Meier, great pickup great trade, great player, great guy. You bring him back. Igor Sharangovich, guy can play third line. Maybe you let him go. I think it's worth bringing him back for another year. Kevin Ball, re-sign him. He's a heavy hitter. He's a nice guy to have on the defensive end of the game. Eric Holla, I've already said, plays with heart. Love the guy and provides depth to New Jersey that I think we've been missing over the last couple of years. Okay, Ryan Graves, I've already mentioned, was like fifth or sixth highest in plus minus in the league for defensemen. I don't know what you want from me, okay? Great guy. Tomas Tatar, I can see them getting rid of him. I personally think he should be re-signed, and Nathan Bastian should be brought back because Nathan Bastian is the key which unlocks the door to potential, okay? Nathan Bastian was one of our best penalty killers this year. Like, he was a threat on the third or fourth line. He's a diversity player. You can make him work with literally anyone with any time. I love the guy. He's great. Guys who are going to be cut. Just for Brokefest, I don't see returning. I don't want him. He's a fine player. He's all right. I don't see where he fits in the league. I don't see where he fits in the lineup. I guess you put him on the third line, but we've seen how that's gone. He hasn't really done a whole lot. He's all right. He's fast. He's young. You know, you'll get something for him, I'm sure. Yeah. Mackenzie Blackwood, for obvious reasons, he's not coming back. His play has not been good. Get rid of him. Miles Wood, you're a liability. Adios. And Jonathan Bernier, no reason to keep you around. Our goaltending situation is good right now. So, which brings us to our final lineups. So, on left wing, you would have Andre Palat. You would have Jesper Bratt. You would have Eric Holla. And you would have Tomas Tatar. If we're looking realistically, your first line is probably going to look like Tatar on the first, Bratt or Palat on the second, Palat maybe on the third, Eric Holla on the fourth. Like, that's a great lineup. That's a great lineup with depth. That is a force to be reckoned with. If your fourth line lefty is like Eric Holla, he's great. Centers, you would have Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, Dawson Mertis, Curtis Lazar. On right wing, you'd only have actually two right wingers playing, which would be Nathan Bastian and Timo Meier. Now, right wing, obviously, we're going to need a pickup. We'll get to that in another video. I don't know if we're going to go over have a free agency day. And yeah, that's about it. And then defense, you had Ryan Graves, Dougie Hamilton, John Marino, Jonas Siegenthaler, Brendan Smith, and Luke Hughes. So, what do I think our lineup defensively is probably going to be looking like? It's probably going to be Dougie Hamilton, Jonas Siegenthaler. If we had, it'll probably be John Marino and Luke Hughes. And the last pairing is going to be Ryan Graves with Brendan Smith. It's probably how it's going to pan out, which I gotta say isn't bad, right? Right? I mean, you would put Ryan Graves on a last pairing with Brendan Smith, he's all right. But, like, come on. That's a stacked defensive core. My guy. Great, right? And then net, you'd have Vitek Vanacek and Akira Schmid. This team really only needs one or two big free agency signings, And I think this team looks better than last year. I really do. Who that person is, I don't know. My focus is on right wingers, but the biggest right wingers in free agency right now are Patrick Kane and Vladimir Tarasenko. And New York picked both of them up, and they did shit. They didn't do anything. So we'll see what happens. That's gonna be it for me, guys. That's gonna be it for this video. I know this is a rather long video. It is 20 minutes long. I apologize. I had a lot to rant about. I had a lot to talk about, but that's gonna be it. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will probably be when another big signing or a big trade happens. And that's about it. So I will talk to you guys in the next one. Adios.